So, good morning, students. In this class, we'll see concepts of function in C programming. So, basically, C is a function-oriented programming language, right? I can say it is a basic building block for C programming. See, if you observe, simply a C program will have at least one function. The C program itself, we are starting with main function. Okay, C program, when you are starting writing a C program, we are going to define definitely a function which is main, right? So that is the reason we can call C is a function oriented, means it is depending on functions concept to run the programs. Let us see what is the function, what it is, why the function is so much important, right? And how to declare the function, and the syntax, and how many types of functions are available. These are all things we are going to see in this class. Okay. First, let us try to understand what is a function. A function is a group of statements that together perform a task. Right? Write down somewhere. A function is a group of statements. Some collection of instructions are going to be defined in a function together to perform a task. Okay, so this is what simply a definition of a function. So inside the function, we are going to be including some group of statements which will perform some task. Right? See, what is the reason why we need a function? Is nothing but at any time, if we have a very large task, very big program, I need to write. So what can I do is I'll simply divide it into the smaller set of instructions. I can make it into the group of functions and I just want it to run as it is. So it is very much useful to divide a very big task into the smaller task and I can write and implement as a functions in my C programming. Right? See, that is the reason here is the statement defined. A function is a group of statements that together perform a task. See, a big program, a large program, we can divide into the basic building blocks. I can say it is a function. And as we know that every C program has at least one function, which is a main. Okay, see, we can divide the entire C code into number of different separate functions. Okay, see, I repeat, a function is a group of statements together to perform a task. Okay, C is a function oriented programming language. Every C program is having at least one function, that is a mandatory function, which is a main. Okay, see now, why should we use the functions concept in C programming? See, we are depending on functions to write the C program because it simply avoids the rewriting. See, I cannot write number of times same logic, same code again and again. So I can depend on functions. Okay. See, we can call a C function any number of times once if you have declared, if you have written the code, and you can call from any location, any place in the program itself. Okay, if you write and define somewhere, declared a function, you can recall it any number of times to execute the same code. Instead of writing number of times the same instruction, same logic, you can write, define somewhere, declare somewhere, you can call it to execute the same set of instructions. If we go through the program, these points will be clearly understandable to you. See, we can track a large C program easily when we have been divided into these multiple number of functions. Let me take an example. Even in mathematics, if you take a very big expression like a square plus b square, okay, multiplied by c square divided by d square plus e square. See, how can we solve this problem? First, we'll take the ABCD values. We'll find out individually square values later, according to the expression, where to use the addition, where to use the multiplication, how can I divide. Okay, the proper operator I can apply, I can simplify it. Okay, so as a whole program, we cannot solve it. We have to divide into the multiple number of subtasks so that I can solve it easily. Right? Even even when you are taking a large C program, we are going to be dividing, right, number of multiple functions, and later we are going to be solving the large C program. Okay, see, and the major advantage of functions concept in C is very importantly, it is a reusability. Reusability in the sense I can write somewhere my function, I can repeatedly call that function, whatever the function inside it is consisting some collection of statements, I can execute again and again. See, I cannot write every time the statement. I can define in a function, I can simply call that function so that from anywhere in the program, I can call it, I can execute same group of statements. So instead of writing the same logic in multiple places of the program, I can write somewhere inside the function. I can call it. So it is what? The reusability. Okay. Let us see some more points so that it is clear to you. Okay. See, and the next point is how many types of functions we have in C programming. Okay. So in C programming, we have two different types of functions. One is I can say predefined, and the second one is user defined. Okay. See, the predefined is only I can say it as a library function. You know it is, right? Printf. Printf is a function we are using to display the message. We know it. Printf, double quotations. If I write welcome, I can display the as it is message on the screen. It is a predefined function. F means function. Okay, this F indicates function, right? So similarly, if you take a scanf, scanf we are using for scanning purpose means we can read the data. Okay, you can read the data from console. Okay, see, you can read the data, whatever you have been declared at the time of runtime, all input values you can read by using the scanf function. F here again function. Similarly, we have lots of mathematical functions also. Okay, round is a function, seal is a function, floor is a function, power is a function, sqrt is a function. We have lots of mathematical functions we are going to see in coming classes, and these are the things we have been already used. Gets is a function to read a string, to scan a string. We are using a gets function. Similarly, we have been discussed even f gets is a function. Okay, and puts is a function which is used to keep some value on the screen, right? So these are some few of the predefined functions. I can say it as the library function. So these are the functions which are going to be declared in C programming. First of all, these should be defined in a header file. So if I use a seal function, floor function, these are all I said mathematical functions. When you want to use this kind of functions, you have to use math.h. Similarly, printf and scanf is a functions which has been included in stdio.h. That is the reason we have to first of all write this header file before you are using the printf and scanf. Okay. Similarly, string.h you have to use when you are going to be using these remaining functions. Okay. See, these are already written in our Turbo C. So that is the name I can also use, which is a predefined functions. Okay. So the predefined functions are going to be used, which has already predefined, already declared, written the functions which you are calling as library function. Okay, so this is one type of the category in the functions concept. And not only this, even you can declare your own functions. Okay, so predefined functions already developers has been written and included in a turbo C. So we are going to use that. Okay, see, but for example, I wanted to write some group of statement to expose my own functionality in my C program. Okay, see, that is the reason we have given the option to define our own functions, which we are calling user-defined functions. See, as the name it is indicating, user-defined functions which are created by user. Okay, say user-defined functions are created by user. So that is the reason it is a user-defined function. So user-defined functions normally created by C programmer. Okay, so that we can use it any number of times whenever we want. And what is the purpose here? User defined function. Why should we go? This option is nothing but it is reducing the complexity. Complexity in the sense it is regarding the time as well as space. Okay, if you are going to be writing once the logic in user-defined function and calling many times, it is obviously reduces the space occupied by the memory and also reduces the time which has been taken for execution. Okay, if you are writing a very big program, if you wanted to optimize the code, I can say the minimize the code, you can take the option of user-defined functions. Okay, so complexity of a program is going to be minimized. So less number of statements, obviously, you can define in your program if you are using the concept of functions. Okay, so see what we discussed till now. A function is what? A group of statements that together perform a task. Every C program at least one function, which is the main function, right? And what is the major advantages? You can avoid rewriting the same logics, same code again and again. So it reduces the time complexity as well as space complexity. Even though you see very large program, if you are writing, if you are dividing into the number of functions, it is easy to write. Okay, so easily you can solve the problem. And majorly, one more achievement is for the function, it is a reusability. Once you can return and again you can use it. If you write somewhere your logics, your code in your C program, by calling number of times, you can reuse the same code. Okay, so this is what one of the major advantages of a C functions concept. And how many types of functions we have? Two types. How many types? Two types. One is predefined and the second one is user defined. Predefined, another name is library functions, which has been already written by the developers and included in some header files. Some of the examples are scanf, printf, gets, puts, seal, floor. And another one is user-defined functions. User-defined functions are created by C program. Okay, once if you created any number of times, you can utilize that. That is what reusability. So it reduces the complexity of a space as well as time. So you can write obviously an optimized code. Okay, see, when you are writing a C program, all of you should take care about not only you have to check whether I am generating the proper output or not, including that proper output. No, you have to obviously check whether I am going to be writing an optimized code, whether I am writing an efficient code. See, this optimized or efficient code is nothing but you have to write the minimum number of statements to solve a problem. So obviously it will take less space, less complexity of a memory as well as time. So you have to always take this consideration. These 2 points are important. Okay, when you're writing the coding part for some problem. See, the same problem can be written by multiple programmers in a multiple ways. See, every human being is having some their own logics in their brain. They are writing, converting the logics into a programming part. They'll obviously execute that. They'll get some output. But not only it is important. What I'm saying is you have to take care about the memory space, how much it is occupied in Turbo C, as well as how much time it has been taken to run your program, to write and execute your program. Okay, so these two factors also to be considered when you are writing the logics or coding part for some problems. Okay, see, the next thing is, see, there are three different aspects of C functions. See, nothing but I have to know these three parts to write a functions. Okay, in your program. Know first of all how to declare a function as usual. Even any concept in C programming, not only C, any programming language, if you want to implement it, you should know how to declare it. Right? Even consider a variable. We have to know how to declare it. Okay, you have to know the syntaxes. Then only you can implement it. Similarly, how to declare a function you have to know. And what the definition of a function it is going to be. You have to understand the definition of a function so that you can write completely properly a function. And also what is a function call you have to understand. These are the very important three aspects of a functions concept in C programming language. Okay. See, you should know how to declare it, how to define it, and how to call the function. Okay. Let us discuss first what do you mean by declaration? How can we declare a function? Right. So a function must be declared, must be declared. Okay. See, in a C program, when you want to utilize it, you have to inform to the compiler this is what my function name, these are the function parameters, these are my return types. See, let us take an example of main function. How we are defining main function. See, let us come back to Word document. Yes, see here. See, I just wanted to take an example of predefined function, which is a main. See, like this. Obviously, I have to write a return 0 or some value. Okay. See, have a look here. Let me increase the size so that you can see. Okay. See, uh, see, observe simply here. This is my main function. Okay. See, obviously, every C program should consist at least one function, which I can say is the main function. Right? See, normally from here only we are starting execution of any program. Okay. See, what is this int? See, what is this int? Int is an integer data type. We'll use normally a keyword of int. Okay. So this main is a predefined function, which is a predefined, already written by the developer and included in stdio.h header file, from where you are exactly starting the execution. Okay, from here only you are starting the execution. You can say exactly from this parenthesis, the compiler will start tracing of your code. Okay, so this is what I am calling a function now. Okay, see exactly this main I am saying which is a predefined function. This main. Okay, what happened here from main? You can start the execution tracing of a C program by the compiler Turbo C, which is a predefined function. And what is the return type of my main is nothing but this int is a return type. An integer value is a return type for my predefined main function. And as it is a function, these braces are compulsory. Whether it is predefined or it is a user-defined function you are using in your C programming, You have to write compulsory this braces. And I said already, I have declared actually a function as an integer. I have to specify a return type. What is my return type here? It is an integer, so I have to give a 0. Okay, see, why only integer? Can I go with any other data types? Yes, you can go. You can specify any data type as a return type of my function. And if I don't want it to write a return statement, I don't want it to return any value to my main function, then I can go simply an option of void, void. That is the reason. If you have specified void as my main function, then there is no need of writing this return 0. Okay, you cannot write here, no issue. Still your program is executing without any warnings or errors. But if I have declared my return type as my integer, and if I have not specified here some return 0 or return 10, some value, some integer value as a return statement, then it will be not going to execute successfully your program by the Turbo C compiler. Okay, see now how can I write here is nothing but simply see, you can write first of all a return type, later your function name and parenthesis, opening the brackets, and inside that some return statement. This is what normally you can declare a function. Let us see some more examples to get more clarity. Up to then, a function need to be declared, okay, in a C program. So the declaration is nothing but here we are going to be instructing to the compiler. Simply we are telling to the compiler about our function, what you are creating, what is the name of the function, what is the return type, what are the parameters we are passing to the function. This is what I can say, the function declaration. Okay, see, int main I said integer is my return type and main is my predefined function. If I pass some values inside the bracket, I can say the parameters. Let us see examples to understand this parameters. Okay, and after that, function definition. Okay, see, function definition is nothing but it contains some actual statements which are to be executed. Some statements inside the function I have to specify. It is very important aspect to which the control comes when the function is called. Okay, see, hence here we must notice that only one value can be returned from my function. If I write a int main inside that return 0, so the 0 is going to be returned to the main function. The 0 value is returning to the predefined main function. Similarly, even though in user defined function, when you have defined a function means it should have consisting some actual statements which are to be executed. And very importantly, at which the control comes when the function is called. Okay, so you have to notice this, at least one value to be returned to the function. If you have declared any of integer or any data type as a return type. And as we know that if you have specified as a return type of void, then there is no need to write the return statement. Even you can say this thing in the function definition. Let us see the example to understand clearly what is definition. Okay, and one more aspect which is very important regarding the functions in C programming, that is the function call. Okay, so this function can be called from anywhere, any place in the program. It doesn't mean that only I can call my function inside of my main function. We know simply what is local and what is global, right? A local function is nothing but which is inside the main function I have been declared. Global is nothing but I said outside the main, whatever I have been declared, it is simply known as a global. I can declare a variable globally, I can declare even a function globally, right? So even a function you can declare inside the main function, which is a local function, outside the main function, which is a global function. So that here, try to understand this point, function can be called from anywhere of the program. It means outside the main function, inside the main function also, I can go with my function. And the parameters as an input, whatever I am going to be passing to the function, it should not be differ from function calling and the function declaration. Means however you have been declared your function, whenever you want to call that function, no, as it is parameter list, you have to number, you have to pass as it is the same number. Yes, we must pass the same number of functions, okay, as it is declared in the function declaration. Okay, let us take some example to understand this parameters, this declaration and definition. Okay, see, let it be like that, and we'll see how to define a function. See, I mean to say, how to declare a function syntax, we'll see first of all. Okay, see, write it somewhere clearly. Function definition I'm explaining to you. So as part of my function definition, as the name it is indicating that, I am just informing to the compiler, this is what my function, and according to the syntax, I have to write that function. Okay, so in the function definition itself, I should say the function name and parameters list and what is the return type of my function. These are very important 3 points. Okay, I should write return type. I have to write the name of the function and I have to pass the list of parameters inside the function. Of course, for a main, generally we are not passing any parameters list, but if we are taking an option of user defined function, you have to write your parameters list. Okay, and based on these three, what is my group of statement I wanted to define inside of my function? I can write here as a body of the function. See, I'll repeat. See, here coming to the function definition, you have to follow the syntax as it is for any concept. We need to follow the syntaxes to write a coding part of a C. Okay, so here the syntax you have to write return type. Return type means data type. What is the data type value? What kind of data as my function when it is executing, it is returning. I have to specify clearly. That is my return type. And here function name, it is a user defined name. Any name you can declare here as my function name. I wanted to give, for example, my function name as sum because I'm calculating some of some values inside of my function in the. Okay, so based on our need, you can give any title as a user defined. So you can give so function name. And here parameters list. What kind of inputs you wanted to? Say maybe I want to declare integer parameters int a, comma int b. Okay, see any number of n number of parameters you can pass as my input to my function. Yes. So this is what my parameters list. And here based on this and whatever the group of statements I wanted to include inside of my function, which is carries actually coding part of my C programming, you can write here inside the body of the function. This is what the syntax. Okay, and let us see some more examples regarding the parameters list. I said here inside this parenthesis, inside this brackets, after you have written your title of function, you have to include the list of parameters, right? So how should I write my parameters, madam? You may be getting this doubt, right? See here an example. I'll take to you an example. See how to define a parameters list. I'm explaining, right? Here, have a look here. It was very clearly mentioned the data type and a variable name. See, I can say like, how can you declare a variable? See, data type you'll write a space as well as name of the variable. See, I can go with the int space a semicolon. Normally, a variable is declared like this, right? Similarly, we have to write the parameters list inside of a function. I mean to say here within this brackets. Data type space variable name. See, again, you may be getting it out like how many number of variables I can include, madam, right? You can go n number of variables as per your need of the program, as per your need of your logics. You can go n number of parameters you can declare here. There is no any restriction. I need two variables. I want to declare as my parameters to my function. Yes, you can declare. I wanted to declare as my parameter list up to 10 number. Yes, you can declare. So that is what I'm saying. There is no limitation. N number of parameters you can declare. But all of these, if you declare here, you have to use it somewhere in your body of the function. See, it doesn't mean that you can declare n number of parameters and know where you are using in the code. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. See, you have to declare and you have to utilize as well as. Okay. Let us come back to the syntax again. See the syntax of a function definition. How can you declare a function? How can you define a function? We are going to be talking now. See a return type, name of the function, list of the parameters inside the parenthesis, and here body of the function. This is what my syntax. And how can you write the parameters is nothing but in this following form, data type space variable. How you are normally usually declaring a variable in the same direction you can declare. Okay, there is no semicolon. End of the variable will usually specify a semicolon, right? Data type space variable name semicolon. We should not use this semicolon inside this parameters list. Only the number of variables can be separated using a comma. That's all. Clear? Okay. This is about a function definition. Let us go with the function declaration. I told you three important aspects of a function. One is declaration, second one is a definition, next one is function call, right? We are talking now function declaration. See, how can you declare a function? Let us listen first. So if you implement a program, you'll understand everything clearly. Okay, first we defined a function. This is what is syntax. And the second important aspect of a function is declaration. In the declaration, simply you will write return type, function name, and parameter list. Clear? See, the difference between the declaration and a definition is there is no function body. Simply here you are declaring a function, what type of return type, what kind of parameter list I have to be passed inside of my parameter. Yes, clear, dear students. See, there is no function body at all. Simply you're declaring, you're telling to the turbo, see, this is what my function, this is my return type, these are the parameters. I'm not at all writing any body of the function here. Okay, let it be like that. And coming to the third important point is function call. Okay, see, coming back again, see three important aspects of functions. I said function declaration, we have seen a syntax, function definition, it is similar to declaration, but there is no body of the function. And third one is function call. A function can be called from anywhere of the program, I said. From any place of the program, you can call the function. Okay, see the function call simply, see, you're calling that function. Why we need to call the function? See, again, somewhere in my C program, I wanted to execute some of the statements which are already I have defined in my function, which are already declared and defined in my function. I wanted to use. See, try to connect again one more important point I said already. See, what is the major achievement of a functions concept in C program? What is the major advantage? I said like it is a reusability. Reusability. I don't want to rewrite the code again and again. I just wanted to use the code again. Somewhere I defined my code, I wanted to call it, I wanted to reuse it. So how can I do as nothing but using this aspect, this point, function call, I can call any number of times a function to reuse my code. See, how can I call? I have to use this syntax. See, in the declaration, in the definition, it is uh, it is mandatory of passing return type. But simply when you want to call the function, no need here. You can simply write the function name along with the parameters. Getting, you can simply write the function along with the parameters. You can call a function. Let us try to recollect all of these important aspects of the three functions again. Okay, see, let me take the first point. I have to declare my function. Second point, I have to define it. And third one, I have to call it. Okay, see, how should I declare a function, madam? How should I declare my function? See, here is the syntax. Okay, here is the syntax. Simply, see, here, you can write a return type, function name, parameter. This is what function declaration. How should I define, madam? See, you have to write a return type, function name, parameter list, and this is the curly braces you have to write. See, for main function, what kind of braces we are using? Curly braces, right? As it is. Okay. See, you have to open as it is. When you open, you have to close. Inside this parenthesis, you have to write the body of function. In a function definition, you have to include the body of the function. Okay. See, not only the definition, not only the declaration, still I have to call it. Why I have to call it? Because I said the major achievement of a function's concept is I can reuse from anywhere, any location, any place of my program. I can call the function to execute same group of statements. Right? So this is what function call. How can I call the function? Then write the function name, just parameters. Okay, you can write a function name parameters. It is a function call. If you are including to this function call a return type, it will be your function declaration. To the function declaration, if you are adding the body of the statement, it will be actually your function definition. Got it? See, these are the points we need to know before we are executing a function, which is user-defined function. These all definitions is regarding user-defined functions. See, what are the predefined functions, madam? I said already, right? A library functions, another name. See, printf is a predefined function. Scanf is a predefined function. Similarly, lot of mathematical functions we have. Round is a function. Power is a function. Square root is a function, sqrt. And seal is a function. Okay, floor is a function, mathematical function. Similarly, string functions, string handling functions. We have gets, puts, fgets, right? We have been already used. Okay. See, predefined functions simply, you can write the keyword and follow the syntax. But user-defined functions, you have to follow all of these. You have to define it, you have to declare it, I can say, you can call it. Okay, see these three aspects, whatever we discussed here, this is regarding what? All user-defined functions. Okay, see, let us move to the next slide. Some more few points. Okay, we'll see here how to define a function. This is what define a function. How can you call a function? Calling a function or a function call, function name parameter, just recollecting. Let us move to one example. I just wanted to type and run one of the simple program in online compiler. We'll see how can we normally use this functions concept. Okay. See, see. Just observe and note somewhere. See, it is the first statement. Hash include stdio.h. I am declaring a header file first of all, and later what is my function I'm using? Main function, which is a predefined function. Normally we use. Okay. C to write a C programming from this curly braces exactly our right. What is that? Tracing is going to be started, or I can say my execution part is going to be started from printf. Okay, and Int is my return type. Main is the keyword of predefined main function, and I can write a return 0. See, int is my predefined main function return type. So I have to write and return statement, return integer value, return 0. Simply I'm executing a predefined function. See, all the syntax errors you have to take care. This is what my output. I'm getting simply hello world. What I did, I have been used a predefined main function and a predefined printf function. This is we know. See, let us go with user defined concept. Okay. See, how can I define? Okay, how to write? See, simply in simplest way, I'll write a function. See, my function name is simply a display. Display is my function. Here I am writing this display function. Okay, see, for the purpose of displaying some messages on the screen. So obviously I have to use what? Printf statements. I wanted to print a message, hello triple P. This is what a message I wanted to print on my screen, right? So this is what. See, okay, let us include the return type. See, it is not for me a calculation part. I am not even running any arithmetic logical kind of operation. Simply, I wanted to print a message. So inside my function body, I returned only the printf statements hello triple v, right? So, and the return type I have included as the void. So we know that if any of function, whether it is predefined or user defined, I have been specified as my return type of void. It doesn't define the return statement. Okay. See, but not only like this, I cannot write and leave it. Any questions for me? Roll number 97. Mute your speaker. So this is what my function. I have been written the body statement here. The body of the statements inside the function I have been, but still in the main function I have to declare. I have to define. I should tell to the Turbo C compiler, right? So this is my return type and this is my function. And if you observe here, I did not pass any parameters inside the brackets. Inside the brackets, I have not passed it. Still, I can do like that, no issue. Okay. See, if there is a need, if I am going to be normally executing any kind of arithmetic logic operations, some of the operations part as part of my coding of C, I can write. Otherwise, I cannot. And here also, see, please observe here. I don't want to specify any return type. Still, I can go, no issue at all. Still, I can go without any return type. Okay, see, observe here how I am declaring and where it is generating the output and where exactly it is not generating my global function also observe. See, here try to understand what I written the code in my online compiler. See, I have been started a display function. Display is my function name and parenthesis empty I have been given. There is no any parameters here. And just like a main function, I have to open the curly braces, open it, and as it is, you have to close it. If you are missing, you will get a syntax error. Okay, inside that, I wanted to print a message, hello triple B. Okay, I have been written this message and I have declared already inside of my main function. Inside of my main function, if I return the code, it is local to the main function I said. But outside the main, I have returned, which is a global function. Yes, still, I can do like that. Here, but I should say to the compiler inside the main function. So it means that here exactly the tracing is going to be started. Execution part of main function by the turbos is going to be started here. When it is calling the display function, it will go here, it will execute here. So when it is tracing the display function, it will go to the globally, okay, to the display function. So inside, I have a printf statement, hello to that is going to be okay, right? Is that okay? See, any questions for me? Roll number 76. Any questions, ma? Roll number 76. Any questions? Yes, ma. 94. 94. Roll number 94. Mute your speaker. Yes. Okay. Right. So, if you observe here, simply we have been printing a message on the screen using a printf function which has been written inside of the display. You may be asking for me, uh, when I have been declared inside the main function, I did not return any return type. If I wanted to include here as my return type as a void, shall I do like this? Yes, I can do. There is no any effect on the code or the output. If you have been added here globally when you have been declared here, I'm adding void. Void means it does not return anything. Simply here also there is no return type, so I can add. I can add like this. Okay, still it is going to be generating the output. And you may be asking, shall I write only one printf statement here inside my main function? No, you can write any number of printf statements. Group of statements can be defined in my function. Can I give only printf functions here because I gave as my function name as a display? No. You can write any logics you can display here. See, I just wanted to implement inside my main function. I want to go with a plus b. I want to declare here only my a value as well as b value. See, observe here. And one more variable I wanted to declare to store my addition value inside of my display function sum. Okay, and I'm writing here sum is equal to a simple logic, an arithmetic addition I am performing here. Sum is equal to a plus b, and in my printf function, I wanted to display which is a percentage d format specifier I have to use, and my variable as a sum. Okay. Execute this. What happened? Sum is equal to a plus b. Your output here it is displaying. Is going to be displaying 30. Let me take slash n so it will comes to you in the next new line. Okay. Any questions for me up to now? Yeah. What is your output? See, observe here what is executing first. See, I told here no, your main function opening parenthesis only execution will be started. So that is the reason first printf which you have been written in a main function is going to be displayed first. So my first printf function in my main is hello world. It will be your output. And next, what happened? The next execution control is going to be goes to the display. Where is the display code? It was declared globally. So it will come outside the main function. It will come here. It will execute printf statement hello triple B. And later printf triple E is going to be displayed. And what I did next, I have been declared integer variables too, and I have been I wanted to calculate sum of a plus b, and I wanted to display here. So in printf statement, I written sum, and I have been executed. So what is my value? 30. Only one operation can I write, madam? No, I said n number of statements. You can write here. Okay, you can go even see check it. I want to write sum of subtraction. Yes, you can do. We'll see. Yes. Read first sub value. Okay. And let us check with the same variables a minus b, and in my printf statement I want to include here a. Here sub. Let me execute this, and you are getting, of course, 10 minus 20 I am giving. Okay, so it is a minus 10. 10 minus 20 I give, so it is a minus 10. If I give b minus a here, you'll get positive 10. See, the other day, some of the people asking me a question. Okay, see, directly can I print? Yes, you can print. It is an efficient code, I can say, because I am not using any another variable to store my subtracted value. Still you are getting same output. There is no any effect on your output. Minus 10. I can directly give here. Okay, not only this, I can go like 10 star 20. See, I wanted to multiply my A value with 20. I'm not taking any extra variable B here. My A value, I want to multiply with 20. So directly I can give no issue at all. Yes, see, already A variable is initialized with 10 0, and here it is multiplying product will be your integer value. So I am specifying as format specifier of percentage D and A star 20. Okay. Here, observe here very clearly what I'm getting 200. See, let me remove this. I want to make it as a comment statement and directly I wanted to print in my printer. Yeah, still you can do. You're getting the same output, no issue at all. See, all of my code directly instead of initializing and calculating as a formula in the printf statement itself, I can do like this. Observe here. Yes, you are getting. If I use percentage, I mean slash in, you are going to be getting in the next line. Okay. See what I did here. I have been defined a function declared here. Simply, I have been written here the function code, body of the function display, and any number of statement I can write here. Any number of logics you can implement here. There is no restriction for coding in a global function, body of the function. You can write, but you have to declare here. You have to tell to the verbose in the main function there is a function. Go there and execute. So whenever it is started execution from main function, it will first execute the printf statement. The obviously output is going to be displayed here, and next it will go to the display, and it is knows that okay there is a function globally it is declared. It is tracing, checking where it is available. It will go outside of the main function. It will come here. It execute all sequentially all the statements what you have been written in your body of the display function, and after that it will come back to the main function. It will execute a return 0. It will return to the main 0 value, and it is going to be exiting from the C program. Okay, see, let me know if anyone is having any questions here. It is a very important concept. See, I can say lot of the applications using the C program. Okay, a lot of the problems you can solve in C programming using the functions concept. Okay, see, even best example I told you, a C program itself, it is starting from a predefined function main. That's why we gave even another name for C programming is the function-oriented programming language. See, try to understand the importance of function concept here. Okay, see, of course, we just executed one program and we understood what it is, how can we declare, how can we write, okay, what is the benefits of the functions, but it is not enough. We have a lot of topics has been involved in the functions concept. There are different aspects of function calling. All of these varieties of functions you have to know. Okay, there are four various ways we can use the function concept. Not only simply accepting the argument, okay, as it is, and you can declare, you can write in various ways all function calls. Differently, you can declare your return statements. You can write various ways to accept the arguments actually and formally. All of these we have to discuss. Okay, we'll take some more 3 to 4 classes to clear the functions concepts. As I said, it is very important. You have to practice a lot of programs. Even in code mind, no, a lot of programs we have to deal with functions concept. Okay. See, if anyone is having any questions for me, please.